Have you ever looked at a chessboard and felt like you were staring at a secret language? Well, today, we're going to translate it. Because chess, it's so much more than just a game. It's a mental battlefield, it's a science, and honestly, it's a beautiful art form. So let's jump in and demystify this amazing game together.
Everything, and I mean everything, happens right here, on this iconic 8x8 grid. Just 64 squares and 32 pieces. But from that simple setup comes, well, infinite possibilities. This board has seen it all. Epic struggles, brilliant moves, kings have been toppled, and legends have been born on these squares. And today, we're going to break down its secrets.
Get this, 1,500 years. That's not a typo. So when you sit down to play a game, you're not just playing against your opponent, you're connecting to this massive, incredible tradition of strategic thinking that stretches back through entire empires. It's a pretty wild thought, isn't it? So, to really get a feel for the game, we gotta zoom out for a second and look at where it all came from. Let's rewind the clock and start at the very beginning. This is the game's origin story. It started as something called chaturanga. And those four ancient military divisions, they are the direct ancestors of the pieces we use today. The infantry became our pawns, the cavalry evolved into the knights, the elephants became the bishops, and the chariots. They morphed into our powerful rooks. So yeah, you're literally commanding an ancient army. How cool is that?
Okay, so let's fast forward from ancient history to the rules of today. Because before you can command that army, you have to know the laws of the land. And these are the same rules that every single player, from a total newbie to the world champion, has to follow.
Setting up the board can look a little intimidating at first, but I promise there's a simple, logical pattern to it. You start with your wall of pawns on the second row. Then, the big pieces on the back row. Rooks go on the corners, like towers of a castle. The knights hop in right next to them, and then the bishops slide in. That just leaves the two most important pieces, the king and queen. And there's a neat little trick for them.
And here they are. 2 golden rules to make sure you get it right every single time. First, white on right. Just look at the board from your side. The square in the bottom right corner has to be a light one. Got it? Good. Second, queen on her color. The white queen goes on a light square, the black queen goes on a dark square. The king just takes whatever spot is left. Easy. All right, let's talk movement. The king, he's important but slow. Just one square at a time. The queen, she's the boss. She can move any number of squares in any direction she wants. The rooks cruise in straight lines, horizontally and vertically. Bishops stick to the diagonals. The knight is the weird one. It moves in that unique L shape. And remember, it's the only piece that can actually jump over other pieces. And then you've got the humble pawn, which just plods one step forward but captures diagonally. Now for the most important word in all of chess, checkmate. This is it. This is the entire point of the game. It happens when you put the opponent's king in check, which just means it's under attack, and there's absolutely no way for it to get out of trouble. The king can't move to a safe square, the attack can't be blocked, and the piece that's attacking can't be captured. Game over.
But wait, not every game ends with a knockout punch. Sometimes you get this, a stalemate, and that means it's a draw. It's a really tricky situation where it's your turn to move, but you have no legal moves you can make with any of your pieces, but your king isn't actually in check at that moment. It's a super common trap for new players who are way ahead but just get a little careless at the end.
Okay, so you know the rules now. You know how the pieces move. But chess isn't about just moving pieces around legally. It's about moving them with purpose. This is where things get really interesting. This is where we go from just playing to actually thinking like a chess player.
The first few moves of a game are absolutely crucial. They set the tone for everything that follows. So, for a strong start, just remember these 3 golden rules. 1. Control the center of the board. 2. Develop your pieces. Get those knights and bishops out into the fight. And 3. Keep your king safe. Usually, that means castling early to tuck him away behind a nice wall of pawns. So, once you've got those basics down, what's next? What is it that separates a good player from a truly elite one? I mean, how on earth do grandmasters think? Well, it really boils down to 2 things, strategy and tactics. Think of it like this. Strategy is your overall travel plan, like deciding you want to drive from New York to LA. Tactics, on the other hand, are the specific turns, the lane changes, the clever shortcuts you take to get there. Strategy is the long-term plan,
while tactics are the short, sharp combos, the forks, the pins, the skewers that win you material or force a checkmate right now. And it's that combination of deep strategy and razor-sharp tactics that makes chess just endlessly fascinating. And to see what that looks like at the highest level, let's zoom out again and take a look at the world of professional chess in 2026, where the best players on the planet are pushing these ideas to the absolute limit.
And here they are, the top 10 players on the planet. These are the modern-day titans of chess. Of course, you've got the living legend Magnus Carlsen at number 1, who many consider the greatest of all time. He's followed by superstars like Hikaru Nakamura, the king of online speed chess, and the brilliant Fabiano Caruana. And just look at the wave of incredible young talent from India, like Praggnanandhaa and Gukesh. They're totally shaking up the old guard.
Let's just pause on this number for a second. 2840. To put that in perspective, that's a level of sustained excellence that almost no one in the history of the game has ever reached. He's been the world number 1 for over a decade. It's just mind-boggling dominance. And if you zoom out to the national level, you can see which countries have the most firepower. Based on the average rating of their top 10 players, the United States is currently leading the pack. But look who's right there in second place, the rising powerhouse of India, followed by traditional chess giants like Russia and China. It's a true global battle.
And believe me, the chess world never stops. 2026 has already been huge. Magnus Carlsen added yet another world title to his insane collection, and right now all eyes are on Cyprus for the Candidates Tournament. That's the grueling event that decides who gets to challenge for the biggest prize of all, the World Chess Championship.
So we've gone from a 1,500-year-old war game all the way to the highest levels of modern competition. But now, let's bring the focus right back to where it all starts. Let's talk about your first move. So when you do sit down to play, just remember that you're becoming part of this incredible living tradition, a game that has changed and transformed over 15 centuries, absorbing new ideas with every single generation.
And yet, for all of that evolution, for all the complex strategies and grandmaster theory, the fundamental goal has remained beautifully, brutally simple. Checkmate.
You know the history, you know the rules of engagement, the basic strategies, and what the stakes are at the highest level. The board is set, the pieces are waiting. So the only question left is, what's your first move?